about social media, like, YouTube, those of you locked on, also via our, of course, Facebook page. Those you're looking at, that's via, of course, GBN TV. I guess you tap in there right now. And it's time for us to go over to, of course, our usual chit-chat we have, of course, on a Thursday, just around this time of the morning, and say good morning to Chriselle. Good morning to you, Chriselle. I know I got your name right this morning. She's not going to be mad at me this morning. Good morning, Chriselle. How are you?
Good morning, GT. You see, when you said Chriselle, I said, yes, it's not Chrislyn today.
No,
but then you said it, right?
Yes. Actually, I written it big and bold in front of me so that I wouldn't mess up this morning. So that's... So good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning to all listeners. It's a pleasure being here again, as always.
We have company this morning. We do have, of course, an individual joining us this morning. He's go by the name of Janelle. Janelle, good morning. We kind of deal with a first name basis, so I'll just call you Janelle for the intro. Good morning to Janelle. How are you?
Good morning, GT. Yes, we can do first name basis. How are you doing? And thank you very much for having me.
I am doing okay. And Janelle was telling me she been hearing me a long time, but first time she actually got to see me, after all these years, boy. Anyway, so ladies, good morning. How is everybody? As we did all that formal introduction already, let's get down to business. This morning we're going to be chit-chatting, the usual chit-chat in between, but we're going to have a little bit of a twist in terms of it this morning. A little bit of a twist. We do have, as of course, Janelle joining us this morning, and we always have Chriselle. So we're going to deal with Janelle for stats this morning. So Janelle, for those of you who are for the listening and viewing public out there who may, of course, not know who you are, or may know who you are, and also for those of what we're going to be chatting this morning about, it's all about the G Crew. But first, I want you to introduce yourself to the viewing audience this morning, and then tell us something about the G Crew, and then we will flow with it. And of course, we see how we could throw in Chriselle when it's needed to. All right, go right ahead, Janelle.
Okay. Good morning again, and good morning to the listening public and viewing public of GBN. My name is Janelle Ruben, and many persons might remember the name and the face associated to news television. A couple of years ago, I used to be presenting the news on two of the local television stations, so that's how you'd remember the name and the face. Today, I am sitting in the capacity as the communication specialist with the Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada project, shortened form GCREWS. Right, so Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada project.
All right.
Right, so let me just give you a little intro into what the project is about. Now, the project is a 6-year project which has as its main objective to increase systemic climate change resilience in Grenada's water sector. And it is a project that is jointly financed by the Green Climate Fund, GCF for short, the German Federal Ministry for the Environment, Nature Conservation and Nuclear Safety, BMU, under its International Climate Initiative, ICI, and of course the government of Grenada. So we've already started the project because the project was officially launched in 2020. So over the next few years, we are the government of Grenada, the Grenada Development Bank, and this is where Chriselle comes in, and the National Water Sewage Authority, NAWASA, along with the German Development Corporation, GIZ for short, will implement the components of the project.
All right.
So our focus here today, we're going to be talking a lot about awareness. Now, water we know is a precious resource, and therefore there is need to conserve what we have. And it is for this, and this is one of the focus areas of the GCREWS project. Through awareness, we will be reiterating the importance of conserving water and what we have. Because remember, like I just said, the main objective of the project is to increase systemic climate change resilience in Grenada's water sector. And we will be achieving that by applying a multi-level approach towards resilience at the level of water governance, households, business, and the water supply system. Because we know we've seen the different impacts of climate change, change in temperatures, impacts of floods affecting supply and all of this. So the key message I would like to send across here to our viewing and listening public is that let us make it our job to conserve water.
Okay.
And Priscilla could now come in and speak about one aspect of the one component of the project, which is the Challenge Fund. And it's split between the Challenge Fund for tourism and agriculture. Tourism is already on board. Agriculture will come along very soon. So we can pull her in here. Or like you said, throw her in.
Yeah, we'll throw you in. Janelle, Chriselle, Chriselle. And,
Well, thank you very much for the invitation into the conversation.
Well, Chriselle, tell us how does the of course the Challenge Fund of course which is under the auspices of the Grenada Development Bank, what part does it play in this whole initiative?
To the conversation here today.
Okay, so I think Janelle's camera is giving a little trouble because I'm still hearing her in the background. But the Challenge Fund is component 2 of the GCRUISE project. It provides grant financing for agriculture and tourism business owners, right? So the challenge here speaks to the challenge with water, which is what the GCRUISE project is looking to rectify, providing or encouraging resilience in that sector. And agriculture and tourism are the 2 largest commercial water users. And when we speak about tourism, we are speaking specifically about the accommodation. So we're speaking about hotels, guest houses, inns, that kind of thing.
All right.
So what happens here with the Challenge Fund is that financing, or grant financing rather, is provided to the business owners from those 2 sectors to undertake water saving measures in their facilities and on their farms. So Janelle spoke about tourism already being implemented. So yes, the Climate Fund for Tourism has already been implemented. So thus far, we have had 20 hotels having been audited for that project. So the project starts with an audit.
Okay.
So there is a water engineer attached to the project. What happens is that engineer goes into the organization, does a water audit, and determine where you are being efficient with your water and where you are not. Then you are expected to complete a project to encourage that. So in the tourism sector, we are looking specifically at implementation of water saving measures such as your faucets and your bathroom and your toilet and things like that. So adoption of water efficient bathroom solutions. We are also thinking of rainwater harvesting system and gray water recycling systems.
All right.
So that is specifically for the hotel industry. So 20 hotels have already received their audits. 4 are currently undertaking their projects. In the agriculture sector now, we are looking at, of course, water resilient projects that relate specifically to agriculture. So here, we are also looking at rainwater harvesting system, shade houses, hydroponics, and micro sprinklers or drip irrigation. Because again, the goal is water resilience. Water resilience. So again, the process starts with an audit. So the auditor will go to the farm, do an audit. The farmer and the auditor and the engineers and whatnot, they will decide on a project that has to happen. The farmer will go ahead and complete that project. And then this is where Grenada Development Bank comes in. Once the project is completed, then we'll provide the financing or the grants, because it's a refund grant. We'll refund that financing to you. And the grant amount is up to 80%.
Okay. All right. So Janelle, let me ask you about this. Let's go back to, of course, your intro and all that you said pertaining to the GCRU. How does the climate resilient water user come into play? How does you go about, of course, getting that individual or individuals to do that? In terms of
water use.
Go ahead.
When we speak of water users, we're speaking about me and you. So it's about encouraging us, and that's why I said reiterating and reminding us of the need to practice and continue to practice, because I'm sure some persons are already practicing water conservation. So it's a matter of reminding persons and reinforcing the need that we have to.
All right, so we see Janelle's system is giving a little issue there. So let's of course let's have a
rush,
okay.
So,
Janelle, we still be having a little bit of issue with Juve in terms of your connection. Let me go back to, of course, Chriselle. Chriselle, you mentioned in terms of the challenge fund for agriculture. And when it comes to, of course, when after that audit has been done and that particular farmer or farmers per se decides, well, we need those sprinklers or the drip irrigation system and so forth. When that's, of course, what is the time frame for of course, let me say, if we could put it in other terms, for that farmer or farmers per se to come back to you and of course you in terms of the process of course of financing them? How does that work out?
Well, as a reiteration, we do not finance the project unless, of course, that person would like to be financed from the Grenada Development Bank.
Okay.
Yes. What we provide, we administer the challenge fund.
Okay.
Right? So the entire G Cruise project is 6 years. There isn't a time frame for the hotelier or the agriculturist to complete their project.
Okay.
There is no time frame. What is important is that the project is completed and they can receive their financing at the end. So maybe if you're thinking of a hotel, it may be construction. Construction can take 6 months, it can take 8 months, and whatever the case may be. So it's not like we are saying, okay, you have 6 months to complete that project. We know that the G Cruise project itself is a 6-year project. I think we are into the 2nd year now, if I'm not mistaken. Janelle, you can correct me there. So, and at any point, the farmer or the hotelier can express interest, and then they can go on and start that project. So there isn't a time frame. We are not putting a time frame on that particular project as an individual, but the G Cruise project does have a time frame. So we'll have to work within that particular
that's where my question kind of came in between, because I was looking at it as a 6-year project. So I'm just saying, just for say a particular farmer gets his system started late, but you said no, it could be in the process of developing the farm, or a farmer may just decide this month I'm starting it, you understand? Or maybe the system is close to, of course, the project per se, or is about to end, and they could come to you within those time frames to get whatever they need to have done, taken care of, once the audit and so forth is already taken place.
Once they are within the time span of the G Cruise project, which goes up to 2026. Janelle? Yes?
Janelle, she's with us?
Yes, you're hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I'm back now?
You back.
Okay,
You back.
good.
All right.
So just repeat, I think I heard the length of the project's duration?
Yes.
6 years, yes.
Yes, so it would end around
Right.
2025 into early 2026.
Okay, right. Janelle is having some serious internet problems.
My internet is not working nice with me today. Why?
Technology fails us sometimes.
Boy, I know. No, of course, Janelle, I mean, not Janelle, but let's talk to you, Chriselle, again. You mentioned that, of course, the challenge fund will only supply about 80%. Give us a little more details pertaining to that. About 80%.
Okay, so it's an 80% grant, yes. So for hoteliers, there is a calculation. At the moment, I'm not prepared to give actual numbers.
Okay,
but there's a calculation that will be used per bathroom, for example. And there's a calculation that will be used per rainwater harvesting systems for the farms, per drip irrigation system. But at this time, I'm not equipped with the actual numbers hotels. I actually think it's 400 US per bathroom.
Okay.
For hotels. So it's not that you can't spend more than 400 for your bathroom. It's just that you need to be certain, or you need to be aware that this is what the policy speaks to. This is how much the challenge fund provides. So it's a situation where you can go ahead if the maximum is $400 as per the policies of the fund. You can feel free and go ahead and spend $500, but just know that the fund can only provide you this amount. And it will be kind of the same idea for the farms. The farms will have a maximum as per the sprinklers or the rainwater harvesting system or whatever it is they're implementing, so that you are aware that you are working within that amount in terms of the financing, the grant financing.
Okay. Janelle, I wanted to ask you this particular question. Of course, let me see if I could get my thoughts back on how I wanted to ask you this. In terms of the project, the G Crew, all right? And tell us about some of the challenges it's been for the crew, for this particular G Crew, if there have been any, in terms of getting people or individuals to of course, be more water resilient and so forth. How difficult was it is it for this particular, of course, initiative, if it's been rolled out, has it been rolled out for the last 2 years? How difficult was it? Or is it smooth sailing? Or is there some issues or challenges in terms of for the organization to get things done per se?
I am guessing that's for me, GT.
Yes, that's it for
but
you,
can you
Janelle.
repeat? Because actually I bumped off. I dropped off a little in the middle of the question.
Okay.
So I just got
I was really asking, of course, for the G Crew. How challenging was it, if I could rephrase things a bit, how challenging is it for the G Crew in terms of getting, of course, the initiative rolled off in the last 2 years? Was it a difficult one for the G Crew, or was it a G Crew project, or was it something that was smooth sailing per se in terms of getting people to be part of this particular initiative?
Well, I would say a bit in the middle, because of course, with COVID, you now have to revamp your strategy and approach. But tapping into initiatives like these and doing other little awareness initiatives, that helps in bringing the message forward. So now that things are a little bit better, a little relaxed in terms of we know back outside, then we would be beefing up our awareness approach and strategies.
Okay.
So we do have a few things in the pipeline that we're working on, and definitely we'll roll those out.
All right. Now, in terms of let's focus a little bit more on the tourism part of it, because that is one of the of course the driving force on this island, which inclusive of agriculture. But now we've seen that a lot of the of course hotels we have not fully reopened yet and so forth, and they may decide that they wanted to of course get that particular initiative from maybe the development bank, or just speak to you folks from the G Crew. How do they really go about getting into this? What is the steps that need to be taken? We know we did mention, of course, already pertaining to the of course the pathway, the way you say it. The way they will come to you, and you will make the different initiatives to help them out in terms of whatever their plans in terms of fixing the irrigation system, or if we talk in farming, or if we talk in tourism, in terms of the water efficiency, showers, toilets and faucets, etc. How do they really get started in terms of getting to the G Crew to get this started? How do they go about getting in contact and so forth?
Well, Janelle, do you want me to?
Yes, because I was just about to say they will have to contact the Grenada Development Bank, because the Grenada Development Bank is the funding agency.
I was thinking that they come to you first. In my thinking, I was thinking they will contact the G Crew because of the initiative started by them, and then after go to the Development Bank. But they contact you, and then you.
But even so, if they contact.
The process starts.
Yeah, even so, if they contact G Crews, they would speak to. Yes,
because that particular component to the Challenge Fund is the responsibility of Grenada Development Bank. So over the last 2 or so years, we have been making the information available to the public via, conversations such as this. We, in terms of the tourism aspect, we've reached out to the Tourism Association and the Tourism Authority. So that's basically how we went about that. We also have Ministry of Agriculture on board the project. So the Ministry of Agriculture is helping us to facilitate the farmers, to reach out to the farmers. And again, we are doing conversations and discussions such as this so that we can meet the masses, or we can reach the masses rather, so that they receive the information. And once they go ahead and they express interest, then we take it from there. That's where we would speak with the auditor, the water engineer who's attached to the project. We will speak with them and they will visit the farms, visit the hotels as necessary. And then the process will continue from there until the end of the project, when that person will receive their refund grant.
Okay. Tell us, Janelle, if I'm right, tell us some more about of course, the contributions of the water sector in Grenada, and how is it that the G Crew is being part of that? Tell us a bit about that. Is Janelle hearing us? Janelle hearing us this morning? Well, it seemed like she's a bit frozen up again. All right. Well, I guess, Chriselle, we have to chit chat a wee bit until Janelle gets.
My internet is giving trouble, but
oh boy. Chriselle, could you? Is there any way that you could assist her with it in terms of?
Tell you a little bit more about the project overall.
Yes, overall.
So I would give that climate resilient. What? Yes. So overall, we have 5 components of the project, and one of the components deals with climate resilient water users, and within the water users, awareness takes part. So that's component 2. So that's why we're talking here today. Apart from component 2, we have several. The other 4 components are climate water supply system. So we would be enhancing NAWASA's water supply system through the building of tanks and dams. And we would have another discussion on that at another time. And we would also be looking at sustainable water resource management, as well as water savings, in the agriculture and tourism sector, which goes back to CFT and CFA. And at the end of the project overall, we will be having something that we can share with the rest of our colleagues within the region as well as internationally, that they too can maybe take a page to replicate in their own country. So the overall impact of the project is that we have better water supply services, especially in times of droughts and extreme weather events. That's the overall impact of the project when it's finished. That's what we will be achieving.
Okay.
And that's why we need everyone, all hands on board in this. It's not only about building water storage systems, but the population, all of us have a part to play, because we are using a lot of water, and we really need to cut down, I should say, or manage, to use a better word, manage our use of water. So that's why I keep saying, when we are showering, don't leave the taps running, because that's gallons and gallons of water that's going down the drain. And also, when we are in the kitchen, practice conservation tips. So, for instance, when you're washing the wares, don't leave the pipe flowing, wash away, rinse, wash away, rinse. No, don't do that at all. Just, if you have 2 sinks, full one with some soapy water, wash the dishes, and then rinse in another one.
I know. I mean, those are the things that have been said a lot. I mean, this is not a first time. It's been said a lot.
We do need to reiterate it quite a lot.
And time, then we complain a lot when, it becomes unavailable, So you as regular users, ourselves as regular users per se, you understand, we have to be a little bit more conservative in terms of what we do. So that's where you come in now to share that information and help in general, just help folks to understand more. And of course, that's where this project comes in here, and in order to help not just the major industry users like the hotel and agriculture, but the everyday people, as you also indicated in between there also. All right. Well, Chriselle, seemingly you quiet. You're very quiet today for some reason or the other. You've been quiet.
Well, you have two of us.
I'm sorry, but you see, so I'm missing some of the points you're making or questions you're asking. So I'm doing my best to sum up every time I come on and I see.
All right.
That internet.
It's okay. Sometimes technology fails us. GT, I can't dominate the conversation. There's two of us that's here. So I mean, we both would.
I have been given. I've been given Janelle a lot of course, the opportunity to express. But we know of her issue that she's been experiencing in terms of her connection and so forth. So that is understandable for her, and you understand. And I have you every week, so I know what it's gonna be like. So. Hey folks, it's the Mid-Morning Buzz. Of course, we talk to the folks of the Grenada Development Bank. We also have, of course, Janelle Rubin. She's us from, of course, the G Crew, and we've been talking, of course, explaining a lot this morning pertaining to the particular project. Where, of course, if you're into agriculture, you're in the tourist industry, the tourism per se industry, and of course, this particular, of course, project could benefit you. Am I right by saying that, Janelle, if you're in those industries, this project can certainly benefit you a whole lot in terms of just being able to make your project or of course or your particular. Say if you're into agriculture per se, you can be assisted in terms of helping, of course, in getting your rainwater harvest system. You've been probably thinking about that for the longest while. How could I? Now this particular project can help you, of course, to get that system up and running properly. Probably your shade houses, of course, your hydroponic systems and so forth. That could definitely have this particular project, and that's where the GDB comes in. Of course.
Right. On that note, JT, sorry about that. On that note, we have stated that the Challenge Fund for Tourism has already started.
Okay.
And over the past couple of months, we've been putting things in place for the Challenge Fund for Agriculture.
All right.
So we have met with the extension officers. As you're aware, in the Ministry of Agriculture, the extension officers are the ones on the ground relating directly with the farmers. So we have met with them. We have given them an overview of what the project is like. So they are assisting us in reaching the farmers so that the farmers can express their interest, and then we can start the process with them. And as we are on this platform, I'd also like to say, if you're a farmer at this time and you're listening to us, you can express your interest. I'm going to provide you with a cell phone number now. You can call, we can take your name, we can put you down on our list so that you can be part of the Challenge Fund and reap the benefits, not just for your farm, but also for our country and for the planet. Because climate resilience and water resilience is a matter for each and every one of us. They say tourism is everybody's business, so is climate resilience, right?
I would agree with you 100% on that. I would agree with you 100% on that.
Sustainability, yes. Sustainability is everybody's business. So if you're a farmer and you are interested in the Challenge Fund for Agriculture, you can reach us on 405-3242, or you can speak with your extension officer or anybody in the Ministry of Agriculture. Actually, they should be able to link you up with us so that we can start that process with you.
Okay. Now we coming, of course, at the end of the segment this morning. I'm going to put Janelle back in, of course, in the spotlight, so she could probably give us some final words before we wrap this morning. And Chriselle, not that we're leaving you out, but you will come after. So, Janelle, any final words you want to express, especially to the listeners and the viewing audience out there, pertaining to the project, and that would just probably grab the interest in the final couple of minutes that we do have left.
So I would like to throw out to the general public that the G-Cruise project is here. It's very much on board. Things are happening, and we need you to be part of the G-Crew project. So for the hoteliers and the farmers, you're hearing about this interview, you're actually seeing what we're speaking about. Do tap into the Grenada Development Bank and reach out to Chriselle and speak to her, express your interest. You have that idea, to set up in terms of farmers, maybe shade houses, hydroponics. GTU mentioned some of them already, rainwater harvesting systems.
Exactly.
All of these
Yes, I
things.
did.
Do reach out to the Grenada Development Bank regarding such, and they will take you through the process. Apart from that, I would just like to encourage all our users to continue to exercise conservation tips. There are just some simple ways. Yes, we've heard it before. It's nothing new. But in light of what's going on within our world, climate change and all of that, and the impacts we're seeing it's having on our water supply system, it is that we now need to take stock and think about what we are doing. Am I wasting too much water? What happens if I get up tomorrow and there's a drastic shift in what...
All right, Janelle, a little
Okay,
issue with her
so I'll
connection.
just pick up where Jenny left off because here we go again. So yes, we do want to encourage water management tips, water conservation methods be taken.
So we need to be prepared, and we all...
All right. Janelle, I want to thank you a whole lot for popping in with us this morning. Of course, it's a little issue with your connection there, but of course, Chriselle is going to give us that final bit of chip in there to wrap up this show this morning. Chriselle, go right ahead.
But I just wanted to say that, yes, we're speaking about rainwater harvesting and water conservation from the agriculture standpoint and from the tourism standpoint. Mm-hmm. But the truth is that it can be done at home. You can practice rainwater harvesting at home. It's as simple as collecting the water in a bucket, ensuring that it's covered so that you do not breed any mosquitoes, and you can use it for things, watering the lawn, your flowers, washing the car, and these kind of things. So that is you also participating in sustainable development and that you are mitigating and adapting to climate change and its effects. And again, if you are interested in the Challenge Fund for Agriculture and Tourism, the Grenada Development Bank or your extension officers are your contacts. If you are looking for Grenada Development Bank, we can be found on Facebook. Our telephone number at the office is 440-2382. Cell phone, WhatsApp, 405-3242. We are looking forward to working with the farmers just as we've been working with the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Hotel Association and all the hoteliers. We're very much looking forward to it.
All right, Chriselle and Janelle, I want to thank you both. I hope we can do this again sometime next week. Hope the connection will be a whole lot better.
Us.
All right.
We're going to do this again.
We will. We will. So both of you have a great day and all the best. And I certainly hope the project hope the project rolls out. Of course, for the next couple of years, and more folks will take part of the initiative, and we have a better water system in Grenada.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All the best.
All right.
Thank you.
I want to say goodbye to those of you listening to us via, of course, GBN TV, the other, of course, platforms like YouTube and Facebook. Thank you a whole lot for, of course,